everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Karen About Wrestling. I'm your host, Karen the Intern, and we've got an excellent show in store for you tonight. But before we get to that, I want to let you guys know, get all your tickets and everything 365 Nation at 365prowrestling.com. Make sure you get your tickets quickly because they are selling out for all of the live shows for sure. Also, do you think you have what it takes to be a wrestler? Maybe you want to join the Pro Wrestling Academy. Check out our socials, reach out, find out all the information you want to know. And of course, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. We really love it and appreciate that engagement. So with that taken care of, I'm going to introduce you to my guest for this evening. We've had him on the show one other time, and I've wanted to have him back on the show ever since. I'm sure he's got lots of updates about his career highs and lows over the last little while. Without further ado, Johnny Rostyn.
Hi, everyone. It's going, that's for sure.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight. I'm sure you've got lots of great stuff to share with us about what you've been up to for the last little while with wrestling. So why don't you catch everybody up, like what's been happening in the last, say, month for you?
In the last month? Well, about a month ago, I was in Langford for VIPW. No, I'd say about a month ago in Campbell River for 365. I had a match against Badman McCann, and I actually dislocated, broke my rib. I've done something to my rib that is been pretty painful the last month. I mind you, today of all days has been like the least amount of pain, so maybe we're on the mend now, and kind of hoping to get back to training and wrestling by the beginning of May is like kind of the shot.
So you've been out of commission for the last month, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, pretty much. I was supposed to be at the May 5th show for for 365, and I was supposed to be this past weekend was May 9th and 10th. Was it? No, I mean April. Oh, the April shows for Courtney and Campbell River I was supposed to be on, but I hurt myself, and for the beginning, I think it was April 5th, the beginning of the month, I actually needed to go home to Ontario because I had some the Brian side of things, let's say, had some a family emergency where I needed to go and see my mom.
Oh.
And so I had to cancel, but my rib had kind of been hurting, and it was just getting worse while working, because the next weekend after I hurt it, I worked for VIPW in Langford and Nanaimo, and it just kind of got worse. And then I pulled out to go and see my mom, but it was kind of a blessing in disguise. And then I pulled out of the Courtney Campbell River shows because this rib injury is just, it's been a time. Actually, for example, there has been twice now where in the middle of the night moving and rolling over, I've yelled and woke up my girlfriend.
Wow, that sounds super painful. Rib injuries are nothing to laugh about. Haha. Bet you it hurts to laugh too, right?
Yeah, there was a time when I was in Ontario, I was walking across the street to go into the shop that's been there since I was a little kid. So I wanted to see how much the shop changed. It's actually the home hardware of Delhi, Ontario. And I walked across the street and I sneezed halfway across the street, and I almost pooped myself. And just no joke. It hurt so bad, and right away I got into the shop. I was like, "Can I use your bathroom, please?" I went to the bathroom, which is the creepiest walk through this really old basement. And then when I came out, the lady at the counter happened to be my childhood best friend's mom. So shout out to Brandon Ecker and his mom. and I had a nice little talk with her. But yeah, she kind of saved my life at that point because just it hurt so bad that I don't know what I could have controlled from there.
No doubt. What do you got there,
I
Johnny?
got some fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna
What?
be obnoxious about it, but once again, I think Karen, you just catch me on some good days where I just don't feel like being a jerk today. So I'm gonna nibble on it slowly instead of eating it obnoxiously. I mean, it's kind of obnoxious that I'm eating it either way, but I was in a good
Honestly,
mood the last time you got me, and I'm in a good mood today. So
well,
I
I'm
think
glad about that. And also, it seems like a lot of the questions that I ask anyway are kind of food related, and so I feel like this is like on brand for caring about wrestling. That we should have some. So, is this like your favorite place to go for fried chicken? Is this like
it
what is this
actually is. Do you know the Canco gas stations?
in?
Like they're all over the island, all over Canada.
Yeah.
Canco. They have like most of them have this fried chicken called Chester's chicken,
Okay.
and the
Okay.
one in Nanaimo is just oh my god, it's just I don't know what it is about that one and that chicken, but it's got to be the best fried chicken I've ever had. But like I'm not a fried chicken connoisseur, so there could be better out there. So if there's better out there, I want all the audience to like message me on the Johnny Rostyn Facebook or Instagram and tell me which fried chicken they like the best.
I love this. We should have a little what's the best fried chicken poll, and you'll let us know about that, and then we'll post it here, and we'll post the results so everybody can see, and maybe we can have a discussion about it. Maybe we can have a panel on to discuss their fried chicken preferences. I don't know. The
Right,
possibilities.
exactly. And if you
Yeah.
guys want to bring me fried chicken to a show, I'm not opposed to that either. Seeing that I am sober these days, I got sober in the new year, and I'm
Right.
constantly on a dirty bulk. So you guys can send me whatever food you want.
Okay. So I love that. So we're replacing uh one kind of thing with some chicken. Okay. So
I
I'm good
mean,
with that. I
you
think that
guys all seen how much beer me and Sawyer drank together. Like, we're like right behind Eddie in the amount of beer we were drinking together, right? So I gotta like replace the carbs, right? Now that I'm not smoking, I mean my metabolism is just working like it's not as high, right? So I'm gaining weight as well, which is amazing. So keep the weight coming and
nice.
bring me brownies to shows. I would love it.
I love that. I had a brownie yesterday. It was delicious. Brownies are amazing.
Was it a naughty brownie, Karen?
No, it actually wasn't. No, it wasn't, but it's a fair question for you to ask me. We
I
both
could
know.
see you indulging in naughty brownies for sure.
Maybe once or twice in my life. Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit here, and I want to talk about like kind of your wrestling career as a whole, right? And so, what
Okay.
would you say is like the thing that inspires you the most in your wrestling career or person, thing or person or place?
Like, I, this is gonna sound kind of weird coming from Johnny Roston, but like, I guess this is getting to know more of the real me than the pissed off me that you'll see at shows. But community, the community of wrestling for like once again the Brian side of me has kind of saved my life. Um, I think there's like so much togetherness, and there's so many like let's say misfit toys that you used to have like be stuck in an attic somewhere and not fit in with other, but they're all there in the community, whether you're a fan, whether you're part of like the crew for setup or production or in the locker room. I find indie wrestling is like this big chest of misfit toys, this big trunk, if you will, to like keep with the theme of what's going to happen this weekend with the trunk apocalypse or whatever that match is called. But it's a big trunk of misfit toys where for some reason all those misfit broken toys have a spot where they can work again and they are like normal per se. And I think that's what without getting too emotional is what really drives to keep me in wrestling because for a long time for 33 years, I always tried to struggle to find a spot where I felt like I fit in. And professional wrestling just helps me feel like I found my fitting in. So like it really drives me to keep going and to be better and better. And the whole reason why I got sober is so I could be better as a wrestler, as a performer, as a friend, as a help. Maybe I could just be more healthy so I could stay in this community for a long time, right? So it's like all of the people that are misfit toys help make me feel not so misfit where I needed to get sober to stay around forever because I love the community so much, if that all makes sense.
That absolutely makes sense. And as part of this community as well, I definitely can relate to that feeling of like in most of my life not fitting in. And then, you just find these places where it's like, oh, okay, no, these are my people. This is where we're all kind of like you said,
Exactly.
I feel that so much. When you said that, I definitely feel that for
Yeah,
sure. It is inspiring.
yeah, it does because it doesn't really like in wrestling. As long as you have this love for this one thing, i.e., wrestling, like it doesn't matter if you are old, young, big, small, straight, gay. It doesn't matter. Everybody comes together, and that's like the beauty of life and kind of what like life should be. But it seems like in everything we're always at each other's throats so much that maybe in wrestling is like the one place where I find like there's no judgment and it's awesome. Like right now, like Johnny Rostyn's character right now is is a backwards bandana, tied knot, all these shiny chains. I go out and I am kind of a jerk. But at the end of the show, so many people fist bump me just to tell me, you did a great job out there, kid. And I'll still tell them off because I don't need them as fans. But it's just a great community, and I absolutely love it because it's what life should be. Because like, look at the election right now, right? People are at each other's throats, whether you're this side or that side. But it's like I guarantee my political opinion is different than your political opinion, but we don't need to fight over it. You know, it is what it is, but we shouldn't be at each other's throats for it. We should try to see what it's like in the other person's shoes before we just no, that's wrong. But I find like so many people in wrestling are there for wrestling that it doesn't matter, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, people do tend to put aside everything just to come together to put on a show to, have these incredible like matches and careers and relationships with people. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing for sure. And I'm also happy that it's inspired you in your sobriety as well, because I think you mentioned that, and I think that's a really important piece as well. And I want to talk more about that, but we have to take a quick little commercial break first, so don't you guys go anywhere. We are going to be right back with more Caring About Wrestling and Johnny Rostyn eating chicken. We are back. You're watching Karen About Wrestling on the 365 Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, and my guest tonight is Johnny Rostyn. So, Johnny Rostyn, we've been talking about some wrestling. I want to keep talking wrestling for a little bit more, if that's all right with you.
Sounds
Lots,
great.
lots to discuss. So what I wanted to ask you, and this is a new question this year, and I love it because I'm getting all sorts of great answers. So, how would your 10-year-old self react to you being a wrestler right now?
um, well, I think he'd be pretty stoked because around 10 years old is like the time where my mom tried to take wrestling away on like Monday nights because all I thought about all week was wrestling and I wouldn't focus on school or nothing. Everything was about wrestling. That Christmas, I think I got like a ring, and everything I asked for was wrestling. And like my parents were not, weren't a wealthy um like family at all. And I got so much wrestling stuff that like they really must have had to like scrape the barrel to get all this stuff. I think he would be super stoked. I know definitely he would probably be like trying to rock like flannel shirts button to one button with a bandana with a knot and a toothpick just to try to be like his older self. And yeah, I think he would be absolutely ecstatic that I'm doing this now because I have a friend in Parksville that lives in Parksville that was my elementary school friend back in Ontario. Shout out to Eddie Harvey. And like me and him and this kid named Nuna Mosquita, I think Mason Adcock, and these other elementary school friends used to wrestle in the backyard and pretend we were certain people and stuff like that. And so all of us, I think, would be so stoked to find out that I was home in my hometown last week, and I ran into a kid that lived across the street, like around the block from me, and now he lives across the street from my parents. He literally lives 3 houses from where he grew up, and he was so stoked that the little like 10-year-old Mike Varga, shout out Mike Varga because I know I'm gonna send him this so he can watch it with his kids. Shout out Mike Varga. You could see the 10-year-old Mike Varga being stoked for me in the almost 40-year-old Mike Varga. So I think all of us in Delhi, Ontario, as little 10-year-old kids, would be super stoked that I am a wrestler at this point.
That's so great, right? Like, I don't know what my 10-year-old self would think about me, like interviewing wrestlers. Probably never would have thought of that in a million years. But man, did I ever love watching wrestlers getting interviewed back in the day, like the old WWF days, especially. Like there was some good, wrestling journalism back then. So,
Anytime I think of an interview, the first interview I think of is like one of the first times you see Mankind. And he's with JR, and he's like, I deserve to kiss the girl. I deserve to kiss the girl. Like I always think of that interview, like that's the first thing I think of, and I think it's just I don't know, like ones like that, and then the one with JR and Triple H when he becomes the Game, like those interviews are just so awesome and so dramatic and like iconic in a way. As much as I hate the word iconic, they're iconic.
they really are, though, and I certainly draw a lot of inspiration from them for sure. But so let me ask you this now: what advice would you give that 10-year-old self if you could go back?
Stay away from drugs. um, I would say because like not long at all after 10 years old, I might have like by like 15 and 16, I was probably doing stuff that meant like without like pulling back the curtain too far because I know my mom's gonna watch this, but like I was doing stuff that no 15 or 16-year-old should have been doing, and I feel like I could have went in a little bit of a different direction in life, and I might have got out west faster, and I might have even started wrestling faster. As much as like I don't regret the past, but my biggest advice would be like to any 10-year-old kid is like just stay away from drugs and stick with your passions. Like I used to I used to BMX, and there was no reason why I shouldn't have got really good at BMXing, like, but I started smoking weed at a really young age and drinking at punk rock shows, and then that led into other stuff by the time I was 16. And I really, if I didn't do that, maybe I would have been more athletic. Maybe I would have been a already bigger set person. So no drugs. That's what I'd say to little 10-year-old me.
That is good advice. That is good advice, I think, for all of us.
I mean, I have a 10-year-old nephew, Ewan, that's like super cool little kid, green stripe in his hair. I could see him growing up in wrestling because he's just a bruiser of a kid. And like my advice to him right now is like stay away from the drugs.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to pursue like something, especially something athletic, something that requires skill, it makes sense to be like really focused, and everything you're doing has to be like contributing positively to that goal versus
Yeah,
like thinking away from it. You have to be thinking about it that way, I think, right? Like,
exactly.
yeah. Yeah, in the music world too, a lot of drug use and alcohol use and all that kind of stuff, right? You see it all the time. And yeah, it can destroy careers, it can cause a lot of problems in people's lives. So I agree,
Exactly. And
maybe.
destroy and pull apart bands really quickly too. The bands that could probably have the potential of getting on like record companies and going on world tours and stuff like that. So it's like there's like a reason why the band Cancer Bat is like got a record deal and is still a band. Is that the lead singer Liam has been straight edge for like 10, 15 years, and like that band holds itself together because I'm pretty sure like most of that band is straight edge and just focuses on their music. I could be wrong. I know Liam, the lead singer, is, but like there's a reason for that. There's a reason why those bands stick around. Those bands stick together, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, obviously, there's always the chance that, you could meet an untimely end as well. Like, as we know, many wrestlers and musicians have, succumbed to. The 27 Club is like a thing for a reason, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's so true. I mean, we would all still have Mac Miller, right? And that's like one big one when I think about
yeah,
maybe a music artist that like left a little too soon and such a like a beautiful soul, kind of always fighting something, and you can tell by his interviews and stuff, especially his later interviews as he was growing into a young adult. Like he's somebody that I really wish that made it past 28 because like to see where he'd be at right now and the little beautiful human he would have became, like I don't know. I'm a huge Mac Miller fan, and I absolutely love those last two albums. And Balloonism, the one that dropped, and like I think about it all the time, and that's kind of another reason why uh, sobriety right now is so important because like I want a longevity in wrestling. I might have not been doing hard drugs, but maybe I was taking my drinking too far. Maybe I was fighting with people I absolutely loved while I was drinking. I've been smoking cigarettes since 12. I'm 36. That's 24 years. Ever since I quit, that's helped my health, and I know it's helped my health because I've had some things stop happening since I quit that I thought were other problems. Now we won't get into detail, but just to save your life, and like I don't know, Mac Miller was a huge loss for me, and it just took me almost 10 years to get my shit together, so I didn't end up, like that. Sorry to get
yeah.
sad there for a bit there, but all needs to be said, right?
Yeah, no, I think these are like really important things to talk about. And the more we expose them to the sunlight, the more we talk about it, the less shame hopefully is associated with it. And then
Exactly.
we're not worried about having these conversations, and then we're not going to these extremes with drugs or alcohol or whatever the case might be, any kind of extreme behavior to like deal with personal pain or whatever it is
Exactly.
driving
And
them,
maybe
right?
people will start like maybe people will start talking about their problems more. Yeah, is my big hope.
Yeah,
Mental health's a
absolutely.
big mental health's a big thing. Maybe some people really turn to drugs and alcohol because they don't know how to cope with their mental health because they also don't know how to talk about it. And that's like maybe the hugest thing is us not being able to talk about it. Like I remember being a kid, if you were a dude and had mental health problems, your buddy'd be like, "Oh, whatever, man, drink a beer about it."
Right?
And it's like that doesn't really help. So
No.
the fact that we are getting closer and closer to like helping people with mental health problems and talking about that type of stuff, it is so important because it needs to be done. Because I don't want to lose any more friends. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose any more heroes.
Yeah, I agree. We should definitely, and especially like in sports that are considered very masculine or very male dominated, like wrestling, right? You would
Yeah.
imagine there is some toxic masculinity happening and people
Which
not
is
talking.
funny because if you think about it, we're fighting each other in our underpants.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean? That's why it's really funny to me, is because it's like a sometimes like in that like even in UFC, it's like I'm a really big guy and I'm gonna kick your butt to keep it like PG, but I'm gonna kick your butt. And it's like these guys are half naked dudes in shorts wrestling on top of each other. It's like to me it's hilarious. It's kind of like
yeah.
whatever.
No, you're so right though. It is very much a kind of like a conflict, right? Or like a dichotomy. You've got like dudes that are, come and trying to come across as super like alpha male or super masculine or whatever, but yeah, rolling around with other dudes in underwear. Yeah, I mean, it's
Exactly. It's
like a
actually it's a great thing to laugh at in life where
yeah,
there's one like when you gotta look at both sides of the coin really, and I think the life is a lot more easier when you're just kind of open open to things instead of just being like adjusted about everything and macho, right?
yes. Yeah.
People need to cry sometimes.
It's true. You got to let it out. Otherwise, it comes out as like anger or something more destructive, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna have to take a break pretty quick here, but I want to preface what we're gonna start the next segment with.
Sure.
I want to ask you about, so you've been off for like a month, but I imagine that there's maybe some scores you're looking to settle or some wrestlers that you want to send a message to. So I want to give you a chance to do that. And we will do that, you guys, right after this break. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. You're watching Karen About Wrestling, and my guest this evening is Johnny Rostyn. All right, so as I mentioned at the end of the last segment there, I want to know now you've been off for a minute, you're ready to come back. You got some scores you're looking to settle? Are you want to send a message to anybody in particular in 365?
Yeah, that question kind of actually got me more, let's say, pissed off.
Uh-oh.
So let's drop the nice act for the television show right now. Ramon Carlton, he kind of pissed me off. Ramon, back in the fans bring the weapon match, you got your goons involved in that match, made me and Sawyer lose our titles. Then in the middle of the match, I'm pretty sure you tried to attack me with something. You stapled a cigarette to my head, and I had to chase you off with a baseball bat with barbed wire that I never got to swing at your face. Now, now let's bring it back to Campbell River this weekend. You stole my tag team partner because my rib is broken. Tim kicked me out along with Righty. So you stepped in, stole my tag team partner, but you already got a beefing up of that with Eddie. That's why I fooled Eddie for months on end and then kicked his legs from his legs as Sawyer kicked his throat down his throat. So, Ramon Carlton, you're on notice. I am going to beat the purple off of you. And that means going right from Ramon Carlton. I know Becky's going to be upset. Now that she's back, I'm going to break her other foot. Moving on. Inferno. Inferno. Bud. 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 Listen here. There's twice in Courtney now where you kicked me in the face and you've messed up my pretty eye. Okay? For weeks. I've had a black eye. Now I got a little friend. It's not Sawyer. It's not Righty. I have a little friend to finish you off once in a while. You're the Fire King, right? Flame boy? Flame boy, flame boy? I'm going to extinguish the flame. Okay? I'm going to extinguish this flame. And you're going to never be seen again because you're going to be a puff of smoke. Poof, gone. Memory. Distance. Traveling in the frickin' wind, bud. I'm going to tell you right now. Your single ply, your dust, I'm going to put you in my phone as roll up the rim to win, bud. Because you're going to be gone. And I'm going to win. You know, Zach Andrews did the right thing. He did the right thing by leaving those clowns in the circus. He seems to be a lot cooler these days, too. You know what? I might even tag with Zach Andrews one of these days now that he's cool again. He's pretty lame boy before. But, yeah. And to say that, anybody else that wants it, come on, bring it.
Do you think
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Give me your number. I'll punch it into your face, and I'll slap you so hard you'll be speaking in numbers. All right?
Okay. Definitely getting the other side of Johnny Rostyn at the moment.
I mean, like you're gonna bring up things like memories and the fact that my eyeball had a Vans footprint on it for like 2 weeks. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
We got to have a little bit of hard-hitting journalism here on caring about wrestling. You know, I think I got to ask some hard.
We're having a nice talk. So mental health.
No, that's fair.
Toy boxes of Misfit toys. Cornelius, the dentist, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, whatever it was. But now we're gonna move on to the next question, and I'm gonna try not to be pissed off.
Okay, that's fair. Well, we've talked a lot about wrestling so far. So how do you feel about answering? Well, and I guess we've talked about some personal stuff too, but do you want to get into some more kind of personal questions?
Sure.
Okay. You're in an all right mood for that, you figure?
Yeah, we can move on. We can do it.
Okay. Fair.
I got happier as I go. I mean, you all know Johnny Rostyn. I'm a little bipolar. That's okay. It's all right. I get the job done.
Yeah, no, I agree. So what I wanted to ask you is, what do you do when you're not wrestling?
I'm awesome.
Just generally.
I have a girlfriend as of late. I like to hang out with her. She has a cute dog and a cute cat. When I'm not hanging out with Audrey, I think I have a new Audi that I like. Well, it's not new. It's a 98 Audi. So I've been like kind of working on that, trying to modify that. I go to the gym a lot. Like a lot. I spend a lot of time at the gym and I eat. And that's the four things that I've been worried the most about other than wrestling, because most of the time I go to the gym for wrestling. I'm putting on pounds for wrestling. I could say that I'm building the car for wrestling, but I'm not. That's a project. That's fun. The thing goes real fast. And I bring Audrey to wrestling, and then she runs my merch table. So when you come and buy a t-shirt, be nice to it, or I'll beat you up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I heard you just got a new run of, was it hoodies?
Hoodies are going to be dropping in June. I'm working on a t-shirt. T-shirts are out right now. I'm just like finishing getting the pre-orders out to people. But and then I got sticker packages. I have big and like three small sticker for sticker packages, bigger stickers. About to go print 8x10s tomorrow. I have hats now, and then I be dropping t-shirts once every 2 months. So there's an April May drops out right now. So there'll be a t-shirt with the June sweater. I just haven't released like the visuals of it, but the visuals will be dropping. I think there's already a post made and scheduled for May 30th. So that will be dropping. So there'll be a sweater and a shirt in May because I just do limited presses. So I do 30 shirts. That's it, said and done. I do like popular sizes, obviously get more, but like once they're gone, they're gone.
Excellent. Well, definitely check out the Johnny Rostyn merch table. Say hi to Audrey. Be very nice. She's a nice girl, I'm
She's,
sure. Yeah,
she's
very nice.
very nice and very cute, but I will beat you up if you're not nice to her.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would never dream of not being nice.
I don't think you would.
Oh, okay, not me specifically, just others. Okay.
Like this is out to the audience.
Okay.
You be mean to my merch girl, I beat you up.
Okay. You weren't speaking to me specifically. I was feeling a little attacked just at that moment, but now
Oh,
we're good.
don't feel attacked. This is a safe space.
Yes, it is. It certainly is. Okay.
I'm getting a little less hot from the call out question, but
Okay.
thinking about Ramon Carlton's purple hair does piss me off quite a bit. Been a thorn in my side for like 2.5 years now. And now that he's wrestling, he's gonna get it.
He is wrestling. So this weekend, I just saw the video when I got here to Studio C today, and I saw a video of him getting thrown through a table.
Yeah, I was at my merch table when that happened. Well, actually, I wasn't. I got kicked out. I got kicked out by Tim, ref Tim. Me and Righty had to go out and sit by the ocean, and we just threw stones and chatted because he just came back from Brazil at that time. So, like, I sent my twin in, Brian Rostyn, and he was watching from the merch table. And he said it was glorious, even though because of Ramon, Sawyer suffered a loss, and he used my tag team partner to suffer the loss. It was glorious to know that he went through a table, i.e., my twin, Brian Rostyn, not me.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was pretty incredible video, but I guess you will probably at some point have a chance to exact some revenge on
I
Ramon.
hope so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The purple people are very divided on the purple. Some really love it, some not so much. So I
I don't mind it. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind the purple, but I'm gonna beat it off of him. That's the thing.
Oh,
The next time you see him, whatever his natural hair color is, if it isn't purple, because nobody can prove if it's purple or not,
true.
but like whatever his natural hair color is, you're gonna see a bit of it because I'm gonna beat some purple off of him.
Okay, well, I will probably pay to see that.
Good, good.
I would pay to see that. Yes. So let's make sure I'm there when that happens. When you're planning on executing that, the purple slapping off move. I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a name for it. Anyway, let's talk about some pleasant things. What's your favorite season?
I didn't expect. Sorry, I didn't expect that at all. I did not expect that. I think visually, I like fall because I grew up in Ontario, so there's a lots of colors and stuff. But I do like summer the most because I don't really like being cold. Cold weather is better for my skin, but I do like summer. I like going to the beach. I like going to the lake. I like golfing. I just like I like wrestling outside at festivals so much.
Yeah.
It's like it actually makes me kind of happy until I walk out and see fans, and then they don't make me happy.
Yikes. Yeah, I think you were at the Wheelies show last summer, right?
That's where me and Sawyer won our second reign of the tag belts against that Polonius, and Ramon's goon there, Laxadartha, because they couldn't decide on what they wanted to do, so we took full advantage and showed them that they need to work like teammates, like me and Sawyer, who are basically one person because that's how we think. We're such good friends. And just this past weekend, Aviko was trying to say that we weren't friends. We're best friends. And we think like one person. That's how good of friends we are. So shut up, Aviko.
Yeah. Don't say anything bad about your friendship in the moment of truth, right?
No, yeah.
No.
The momies are it. Like there's nobody else tighter in the moment of truth, other than probably Jordy and Lee. But like nobody else, no other tag team is as tight as me and Sawyer, man. We go golfing every second Sunday with Righty now too. Righty's involved. You should see Righty's swing. Woo! Righty's got a swing on him, like 400-yard shot. It's crazy.
That's epic.
Crazy.
And I wish we had more time to get into the whole righty lefty situation because I need to catch up on all that. But I'm like, whether you can believe it or not, Johnny, this interview is already almost over.
That's all right. I talk way too much as it is, and I think all the fans know that.
But before you go, I would like you to do a lightning round with me. Are you into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so just first thing that comes to your mind, just quick answers. All right, there's 20 questions. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Yeah.
Introvert or extrovert?
A little bit of both.
Okay. Optimist or pessimist?
I'm an optimist.
Nice. Favorite board game?
Put the pieces into the slot, make the right selection, but be quick, you're racing the clock. Pop goes perfection. I couldn't think of the name without singing it.
That was amazing. That was amazing. Okay. Coffee or tea?
Coffee all the way. Vanilla latte to be exact.
A vanilla latte?
Yeah.
I
So
love me a vanilla latte, my friend.
yeah.
Yes.
One for the
Okay.
team.
Favorite snack food?
Fried chicken.
Of course it is. Favorite smell? Fried chicken?
Fried chicken. That or like yeah, fried chicken. Fried chicken. I was gonna say avocado fart, but that was more of a joke. But fried chicken.
Okay. Let's go with fried chicken. Favorite color?
Green.
Nice. Favorite animal?
Cat. No, I was wrong. A duck. Ducks.
A
Ducks are the best.
I like a duck. Yeah. Apples or bananas?
Bananas.
Bananas. Cilantro. Yes or no?
I'm getting used to it. The older I get, the less it tastes like soap.
Interesting. Talking or texting?
Oh, I talk to text, so talking. Totally.
Favorite day of the week?
Believe it or not, it's Monday. And the reason why is because Monday is your new slate for a better week.
I like that. And also caring about wrestling films on Monday. So that's also fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Invisibility or super strength?
Super strength.
Favorite kind of soup?
Um, what is it called? It's like 3 cheese tortellini.
Soup. Okay.
Is that
I'm
is that
down.
soup? I don't know.
Sure.
We could say chicken noodle and just be all right with it.
That's a good answer too. Ask permission or beg forgiveness?
I'm a just a do type of person, and then not care what somebody thinks about it later.
Okay, I like that. Favorite holiday?
Oh man, my birthday.
Okay, I love that. First celebrity crush?
Brittany Murphy.
Okay, yeah, good choice. Cake or pie?
Pie all the way. But like they call cheesecake a cake, but to me it's more of a pie.
It's more
But
of a
like I like cheesecake, so like you think of that one how it is.
let's just change the name of it to cheese pie. Not quite
Cheese
the same
pie.
thing.
That's it.
Cheese
Let's
pie.
do it.
Yes. Okay, and your favorite number?
Number 7.
Excellent. All right. If people want to find you on the socials, where can they do that?
Johnny Rostyn has a Facebook page. That's a group. You guys can add that. Please do not try to add me on my personal account for Facebook. I will not accept it. And then on Instagram, I also have a page, Johnny Rostyn. Please go follow it. I am trying to get the numbers up on that as we speak.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being such an incredible guest tonight, Johnny. I've had a great time chatting with you.
Thank you very much. I actually had a pretty good time, other than when you had to make me mention Becky Beach, Ramon Carlton, and Flameboy Lameboy.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. All right. That brings us to the end of another episode of Caring About Wrestling. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.